Swordier Fetter Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. We're going to be taking a look at a second version of this budget fetter and if it holds up to hard use. If you guys haven't watched our first video on this budget fetter, you need to check it out right here. This fetter was sent to us by a company called Swordier, a Chinese forge based in Longquang, China, and they make a whole bunch of different types of swords, from katanas and now European swords, sharps, and HEMA trainers. Fetters, if you haven't purchased one already, can be kind of expensive, so when we saw the price point of this fetter, we had to test them out. And as you can tell, we have put this thing through the ringer. Check out that first video and you're gonna see all the abuse we put it through. And within a very short amount of time, Swordier reached out to me and they made a revision 2 of their fetter, and I cannot believe how many improvements they made in such a short amount of time. They listened to almost every single one of our complaints about this one and completely changed it. We have already fought, I would say, over 20 to 30 hard bouts with this, and none of the issues that we had with the old fetter seems to be manifesting in this one. I'm not really gonna go into a whole lot of detail. I'm just gonna post the fights and the post-fight interviews, and you can decide for yourself. All right, so we're gonna try out the second version of the Swordier fetter versus the very first one. Then we're gonna swap off and kind of feel the difference, okay? Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and swap. So I'm gonna use the old version 1. AJ's got the version 2, and we're gonna see how it feels. Oh, this is the same technique I wanted to do. All right, so that was a really good fight, AJ. As always, great fighting you, man. So differences between the two. To me, they kind of felt similar, but I will say what made this sword a little easier to wield for me, that longer grip makes a big, huge difference, right? Absolutely. The gloves on that one are kind of close together. If you're using clamshells, it's like crowded. It feels kind of crowded, which this is probably closer to an actual long sword hilt. This is more adapted for what we're doing here, the HEMA sport. And there were long swords with this level, this length of hilt, but you would typically see this kind being carried around with this length hilt, and this is still getting kind of long, right? And there's this deep fuller that I'm sure is lightening up this blade just a little bit. No quill on wobble. So when we got this one, within the first day of using it, we had quill on wobble, right? Now it hasn't broken, the quill-ons haven't broken. They have taken a set and we had to use a hammer to knock that thing down. This thing, completely straight so far, and no wobble. Guys, here we have the Regenyei standard medium flex fetter, and looking at the two, they look really close to each other. Height, length, and even blade and hilt size and shape look really similar. Even the pommel shape is really similar, but funny enough, if you look at this, the peen on the Swordier looks better than the peen on the Regenyei. Check this out. Look how much beefier that is right here at the edge of it than this, where there's really nothing showing. Some people might like this because it's more aesthetically pleasing, but I feel like that construction may have its advantages with stability. Yeah, and I don't know if that is showing here and then they welded over it and ground it and polished it. That might be the case. It might be exactly the same construction, but we can see it a little more clearly right there as well, how it moves in. And we'll look at the Regenyei as well. The Regenyei does look a little cleaner around right here. There's less of a gap. So these are probably fitted a little better. But what I do like about this is take a look at that fuller comparatively. The fuller really does make a big difference in terms of appearance. It looks really good. And this is also going to be a lot cheaper if this becomes a production model. Cord wrap, I'm really happy with that change. Because the cord wrap, if you look at the two cord wraps, they're like really similar, right? This one's just a colored one, this one's black. But this is far more durable than what Swordier was using in the previous iteration, which was like a soft, like almost like a soft, it's not paracord, but it's a very soft cord that gets cut really easily and then it exposes the wood. All right, this next fight, we are using a very large, I don't even know if that's a fetter, it's like a blunt, but it's a much beefier blade than we normally do, and that's gonna be going against the new and improved fetter. Nice. Oh, skim on the knuckles. Oh, after blow. Oh. All right, good fight, good fight. Very good exchanges, guys. Very good exchanges.
Pretty well.
No deep burrs?
No deep burrs. Quillons feel good.
Shake those quillons real quick. Shake them with your hands, like pinch it. Are they tight?
Yep, everything's tight.
Okay, any bends?
Nope. Still looks good.
All right.
Yeah. Still very solid. Coulons are attached and they're not bent, and I'm pretty sure they did take some good hits. You can see a little bit, so they had the stronger, or they did some improvements to the Coulon, and you can tell definitely still very solid construction.
You ready to fight again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh. Oh, she got you. There we go. Nice. Yes, much better. Using that structure, Holly. Get that structure going. There we go. Oh! All right, AJ just fought probably the most extreme gambit between thinner and thicker blades. So this is a custom longsword from Italy, right? It's more of a blunt. It's kind of a mix between a blunt and a hemosword because it has the flex. But one thing I want to illustrate, go ahead, hold that part of the blade up where kind of the same spot that is. The larger, thicker blade has some divots in it, and the fetter does not, even though this is much, much heavier. So that's an attestament to the heat treat that we're seeing on this, right? And then let's take a look at the Siggy Light that Holly was using. Holly, go ahead, hold that thing up real quick. So this is a much faster and thinner blade, which Holly was able to get a few strikes on you with that, right?
Yeah.
So how was using that fetter against the Siggy Light?
So definitely still very easy to move the Siggy Light around. It was fast, not nearly as fast as the Siggy Light. Gaining that blade dominance, getting in the bind, and knocking the blade aside. Yeah, just got to practice more against those faster, lighter blades, because she was able to move much quicker than I was and go around me. But this is still very, very fast for what it is.
Guys, getting into HEMA can be kind of expensive. Buying all of your gear plus a quality training sword can cost a lot of money. So companies like Swordier are really doing a good job of providing something that is affordable but extremely good quality. Going from their version 1 to this version 2 was such a huge leap, and they truly listened to everybody putting in input. And I'm sure we're not the only company that's helping them out with this, but we are one that is putting in a lot of work to test their products. I'm really happy with how this sword performed and just how it feels, and it looks great. It looks like something you would buy that is much more expensive, and we couldn't break it. We put it through its paces, as you saw in the different fights, and I don't have a break, I don't have a shake on the quillons like we have on the first one. There's no bend, everything is straight, and as far as I can tell, the blade is still true. There is no bends in the actual steel itself. You can't really ask for much more than that. Time will tell if this is going to stand up to years of practice, but I can already tell just from how it feels from the little we've used it that we're most likely gonna get a lot of use out of this fetter. I got nothing else for you guys. Bye.